Hello again, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Popular Review. I'm the executive consultant. I know what you're thinking. Like, hey, where is Big Daddy Cool, right? I wish you would do that on camera. Where is Big Daddy Cool? But Big Daddy Cool is not here. Joining him in this place is none other than Monday Night Ron. Ron, what is going on this evening?
What's going on, Captain? Oh, you're not the captain. What's going on, executive? You are not the captain.
This is how you know that he's just like, he's just, I know, random in the shot, right? But you know that he is doing his thing. She wants to say hi to everybody. Everybody, this is Nikki. So, what is going on with you? Nothing much. We just got finished watching a Dynamite episode of Monday Night Raw, and a lot
on a Friday night. On a Friday night at that.
On a Friday night. Did I say Friday night?
You did. You said Dynamite.
Oh, did I? I'm on every week. I'm on every week. You want to say? No, I know you know. I knew she wasn't going to come on. But hey, let's go ahead and talk about it. We start off with Miz TV, and this special guest this week was none other than Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes came out there. Miz was talking a whole bunch of smack, said, hey, you know what? I don't appreciate you coming back. That's pretty much what it is. Cody Rhodes thinks the Miz is jealous that Cody Rhodes came back. We all said we know where it was. A lot of heat given up in this match, but the bottom line is Miz talks about how Seth Rollins going to want a rematch against Cody Rhodes coming up on at WrestleMania.
It was a backlash, right?
And Cody Rhodes said he has no problem facing him, but Miz said you're not going to be able to beat me tonight. Cody Rhodes, Miz wrestling later tonight. What are your thoughts when it comes to a Cody Rhodes and Miz confrontation?
So I missed a good portion of that, but I mean, you know, they gotta try to draw some heat in this match. So why not have Miz TV? Miz TV is a really good. How do I word this? It's really good to build not even a feud, but a matchup. So it was what it was. Like I said, I missed a good portion of it, but cool. And I know we'll talk about the match later on, but it was cool. You're muted, sir. I don't know why, but you're muted. Yes, you're muted.
Yeah, that's amazing. So, yeah, it was actually a very good segment. Cody Rhodes got the best of Miz. Miz was talking about how everybody was talking about you at WrestleMania, but I was the one that betrayed Logan Paul. I was the one that beat the Mysterio single-handedly, so it was a little disconcerting for the Miz in this match, but still very, very good. Let's also go on to the next segment. Next segment is none other than a debuting in-ring debut for Veer Mahan as he takes on Dominic Mysterio in a one-on-one match, which was pretty much just a squash match. It was like Veer Mahan just against a local jobber, and that local jobber is Dominic Mysterio.
Which is sad.
Are you happy that Veer Mahan is actually showing up on Monday Night Raw now?
I'm happy that he's finally has come. So I'm very excited that he has come. And
most women are happy to hear that. I
didn't
know you'll be happy.
Absolutely. No, I'm glad that he. I mean, it's a shame that when he had come, that it would be at the expense of Eddie Guerrero's son. You know,
it's not Eddie's son. That's Ray's son. Okay, that storyline is over. That storyline's been over for 17 years.
It doesn't matter. Tomatoes, tomatoes. But hey, you asked me to be on this show, so don't you get mad. But then again, I was the only one. I raised my hand. But him showing up. How long do you think it is until Veer is? Because a lot of people have it where he's going to be pushed to the moon right now. He's looking dominant, and eventually they're going to put him in that 24/7 class. Do you see that for him? Do you see growth for him?
As far as Rey Mysterio, yeah, I definitely see growth. I'm sorry, Dominic. Yeah.
No, not Dominic. I'm sorry. I should have been clear. I'm talking about yes.
Oh, I tweeted about him. Veer, I can't. I don't see the interest in it whatsoever. He's a big guy. I'm pretty sure he has some talent in the ring, but he has absolutely no interest in that. He doesn't have the charisma that I need to see. He's lacking it. And until I see it, I can't get into it. I can't get into it at all. Ladies and gentlemen, watch Unpopular Review. I'm the executive consultant. This is Monday Night Ron. And please make sure that you like, love, and share this to all of your wrestling timelines and groups, and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Unpopular Review. I'm sorry, what were you about to ask?
No, I was just going to sit here and say, because a lot of people have been following him on Twitter. I'm brand new to Twitter, so I'm getting my feet wet there. But a lot of people are saying they see a lot of, like, he shows a lot more, he's more charismatic on Twitter than he is obviously in the ring. Do you think that's something?
I don't follow him on Twitter, but you know, if you are friends with people who do follow somebody, then sometimes it comes across in your timeline, and he definitely is a little bit more interesting on Twitter.
Okay, There you go. So yeah, it was a squash match. It really didn't do a whole lot for me. It just showed that they want to get behind him. What was the next segment, EC? What do we have next that happened?
Next segment is AJ Styles got into a backstage brawl with Damien Priest. He's into a wrestling match with Damien Priest, which followed up a pretty good wrestling match between AJ Styles and Damien Priest. But Damien Priest, however, it ended kind of like abruptly.
Yeah.
Damien Priest was AJ was about to go for a phenomenal forearm. AJ kicked him off the apron. Then he goes in, he does like an Undertaker like pose, and all the lights go off, and that was the end of the segment. So I was a little confused by that.
Yeah, I didn't understand any of that. I mean, I'm trying to understand this whole gimmick change of Damien Priest and Edge, right? So what, they're like demonic? Are they?
It's like a new brood, so to speak. Remember, Edge came from the brood. Edge came from the Ministry of Darkness. Some people are trying to incorrectly say that it's a playoff of
Oh yeah, from the AEW stuff, right?
Bullshit. Edge is from the brood. Edge is from the Ministry of Darkness. You know he still respects the brood because he's done a few of their entrances and talks about it. Especially with the bloodbath. So he wanted to go back to this Dark Edge before he goes retires permanently, because he said, he's admitted publicly he only has like another year or two left in him. He doesn't wrestle that often, but he only has a year or two left in him, which I respect. The man came back in phenomenal shape, and he's doing a good job.
No pun intended at that too. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be funny.
No pun intended. But it looks like Edge's stable is going to grow with other than just Damien Priest. Do you see anybody that you possibly could see? I'm pretty
sure you heard the same rumor right here, but it talks about having a female in that group, and the female being in that group is your arch nemesis is Rhea Ripley. Do you see that being a perfect fit for her?
Since they're a heel stable, you don't like them. Yeah, I see Rhea Ripley joining her, because Rhea Ripley is a heel. She's a mean woman, and she needs to be a part of a mean stable. So yeah, I give you that.
Yeah, how old are you? What are you, like 12? Like, this guy's a phenomenal. This guy been running Monday Night Raw. You gotta give it up to this guy. He said mean. Like, what is that? And then he disappears. Apparently now he just disappeared. I'm waiting for him to lead the next thing. But I see Rhea being in there. I see the comparison when they talk about House of Black, but I mean, I'm glad that you put it that way when you said, well, you know, the brood came first, right? you gotta throw that out there. So yeah, I mean, it just was to advance the storyline. I don't have really any big takeaways from this match, because it was just to advance the storyline, and I can't wait to see what's going to happen forward, because I can't wait to see Edge and AJ again. Edge and AJ too, because I thought the WrestleMania match, while I want to rewatch it again. I haven't watched it back since being at Mania, and I felt like there could have been a lot more in this match. That's one of the things I would tell people. Like, this match, I felt like there was something missing, but it reminded me kind of John Cena, AJ Styles when they first fought, and I said that was good, but their second encounter is going to be. And I look forward to seeing what their second encounter is, and that's why I know they're building to. But you're still muted, sir.
I know I was muted. I didn't say anything, but it was a decent match that they would have had to do to progress the storyline. Not doing too much. Let me catch up on some of these comments. Mr. Mike Riggs says, "Good evening, Unpopular Review fans. This is Mr. Mike Riggs welcoming you to the WWE Monday Night Raw review show for Monday night, April 11, 2022. Please don't forget to subscribe to Unpopular Review on YouTube, and please enjoy the show, everybody." George Lewis says, "What's up, everyone? What's up, George Samuel Lewis?" George Lewis all says, "How was Raw was pretty good tonight. Hey, it's Bad Guy Jack. What's up? Good evening, my tribal chief, Mr. Chris Harris. I acknowledge you, my tribal chief, Mr. Chris Harris. Good evening, Nikki. Wait, who's that?" somebody got a good evening, Nikki. Nikki, they said hi to you. What's up? What's going on? What's up, Monday Night Raw? Cody Rhodes got pyro for his interest. What's up, Bad? Cody Rhodes got too much pyro for his interest. I just want to.
It was ridiculous.
Nikki's in the house. Nikki's in the house. Look at it. Yes. There we go.
Last night in Boston.
It's the best part of the show. Woo! She's from Boston, Massachusetts, ladies and gentlemen. That's the only person that would admit that publicly.
It's really shitty. Everyone, all you Floridians are like, "Damn, that sucks." I'm like, yeah, it's like 40 degrees in the cold.
Yeah, it's cold.
It's like every season in one. And there's nothing to do.
There's nothing to do in Boston.
Like cool, like
except for being a lawyer.
Doctors like sick. I'm not a doctor.
Except for being a lawyer.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah, it's a lot of lawyers in Boston.
All right. Like downtown Boston School, but that's it.
What's up, Bad Guy Jack, and the future 24/7 champion? I can tell you the female wrestlers were in great shape and fully shaved or waxed. You can tell that for sure from Nasty Canada. That Nasty Canada. My tribal chief, Mr. Chris Harris, seems to be that Elvis is in the building. My tribal chief, Mr. Chris Harris. I see that. I can see Veer Mahan release. I can see him release too. He's not going to develop a pop. He's not going to develop a heat. They're going to just release him. Hi, Chris. How are you, my tribal chief? I'm going good, Charmaine. Tomorrow's my 33rd birthday, my friends. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, sir.
Turn in tomorrow for NXT to see this guy here, along with Captain Shakespeare, and they'll give you a happy birthday on your birthday. I hope Big Daddy Cool come back next Monday. He is scheduled to return next Monday.
Who that woman?
The reason Rhea Ripley was not Raw because of COVID protocol. That explains why they didn't have their title match.
Oh, that's what happened. Okay, because I thought that was weird.
It was a little weird. Liv Morgan sucks. And hi, Nikki, hugs and kisses. Let's go ahead and talk about it. Next segment was Cody Rhodes and all his expensive ass pyro.
Bye. Bye, guys. Have a good night.
Bye.
From Massachusetts. She said nice to meet you. He said nice to meet you too.
I just did that. I was gonna say his pyro reminds me of you remember him and always the joke about Michael Bay and his explosions. That's literally Cody Rhodes at this point with his pyro. Because didn't he have pyro when he went in the ring and something exploded? I don't know. I just felt because there was so much pyro, it was hard to keep up with it.
Yeah, it was a lot. Like he has this thing when he comes out, and I thought that was really good. He has a secondary thing. I'm like, okay, that's fine. I think the one when he gets in the ring and on the apron, I think that was a little too much.
There was pyro when he stepped on the apron, right?
Right, and I think that's too much.
It's overkill. It is overkill. When I make my character, or back in the day when it was easy to do customization for entrance in WWE 2K games, I even sat here and said, this is overkill, but I don't care because it was a game. But when you see it in real life, you kind of go like, wow, this is really overdoing it. But I love that. I'll say this. I love that they let him be Cody. Like the Cody, and when I say Cody, meaning the Cody from the last, I don't know, 3-4 years, 6 years, however you want to put it. The last 4 years. I mean, the pyro maybe is overkill. But they said, oh, well, this is kind of Cody's thing. Let's do that.
I will say that do utilize it while you have it because Cody is really, really over.
He is.
And that surprises me. But he's from, like I said before, he is.
But why? But if I can ask why? Why does it surprise you?
Because he wasn't that over in WWE before. I mean, he was over. He was always over, but he was never that over. But I know he's from AEW and he was over in AEW. But at the same time, remember, the fans booed him pretty much out of the building every night. You know, and then it's funny how those same fans that did not appreciate him and booed him every night are pissed off because he left.
Oh my God! I'm pretty sure you've seen these things. I have a someone I know who sat here and said, "Cody Rhodes, that traitor," and I'm like, "What?" Like, I guess because I just don't get any of that. What that means? I'm sitting there saying he was doing everything in AEW, and it happens. I mean, like, I don't know. I mean, back in the day, we remember a lot of people jumping from WWF to WCW, but then again, social media wasn't around. So when you see these people sit here and they argue and they're really upset, like he left, he's a traitor. Like someone said, Cody Rhodes instead of Rhodes, R-H, O-D-E-S, they put R-O-A-D-S and thought it was funny. I was like, oh, okay. But let's talk about this match. I'm sorry because I mean, hearing how people are really upset that this guy left and wanted to do something else because AEW wasn't working for him, and he went somewhere where he said, "Hey, look, if I go here, I'm going to be treated and presented a certain way I want to be presented." I digress.
Yeah, but I feel like if he doesn't get what he wants, he leaves, and that's a problem. He didn't get what he wanted in WWE because he felt like he was the biggest star. Granted, on the indie scene and in AEW, he was portrayed as the biggest star. He did a very good job, and for nothing, he's come back and he's looked like $1 million.
For sure.
It's just amazing to me.
But I think that when go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, please.
No, I was gonna say his first time leaving. I don't blame him for leaving. I mean, when he was that Stardust character, there was a ceiling there. So
did you see at WrestleMania when we were there?
Yes.
Him do the Stardust pose.
See, I didn't see it until
I looked.
I know, right? Like I didn't notice it until like watching like the watch back and stuff. I was like, oh, he did that. I didn't. Yeah,
I didn't see him do that there. But you know what? I will say this: as much as I love WrestleMania, I'm not saying I wasn't paying attention because I was, but I was just liking the atmosphere a little bit more to really paying attention to the match. I did not notice that, but that's good.
No, the atmosphere was great. I mean, I was in the same thing with you because there's a lot of things I want to rewatch now that I'm home rather than when we were there because and we had good seats where we were right there in action. But even then, I think there was a lot of things we missed. Like I do want to point this out. Did you? I don't think any of us saw it because he was on the other side. But when Stone Cold stunned Matt McAfee and he was outside, none of us saw when
McAfee.
You know, butchering names is my thing.
You definitely butchered that name. You said Matt McAfee. you definitely butchered it that time. Pat McAfee. Go ahead.
Pat McAfee. But none of us saw him outside on the opposite side where he had the beer and he was drinking on the ground. But we didn't see.
I saw that.
Oh, you did see that? Oh, I didn't.
I saw that because they put it on the
video. Tigertron? Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, I missed that. But I mean, I don't mean to go off track, but we were talking about Cody and his epic entrance against the Miz, who
great match, and Miz unfortunately lost.
That's great.
I'm upset about that, but I mean,
you're a Miz guy. He's a Miz guy.
I'm a Miz guy. I'm a Miz guy. But I mean, it is what it is. He lost, but you expect Cody Rhodes to take the W. I just wish it wasn't at Miz's expense. At the end of the match, Seth Rollins comes out and says, "Hey, I challenge you to a rematch. I hear you say all those nice things about me, and I also heard you say something about a rematch." WrestleMania Backlash. Cody Rhodes accepts. Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins at WrestleMania Backlash, and would possibly be another banger. Smart money would say Seth Rollins is actually going to pick up that victory, but I hope he does not.
I don't see that. I know we're gonna have a prediction show about that when the time comes, but I don't see as right now Cody's and it doesn't hurt if Cody lose. It really doesn't hurt, but Cody shouldn't be losing right now. But so I'm at this place where it's like, does Seth lose again? But I just don't think it hurts Seth and Cody. Like if he loses, it don't hurt. But I think Cody needs to build as many wins as he possibly can. I think he's going to be a guy who eventually faced Roman Reigns, and I think he needs to get the win. Now, he don't have to. I don't see him being the guy to dethrone and beat Roman at all. I don't see him as the guy, but that's your guy that you want because at this rate, I know who's. So I see Drew as someone to face Roman, but I feel like that's someone you wait till SummerSlam. I'll wait until SummerSlam.
Can you wait that long?
That's the question. Like right now, I see that they have Nakamura and they're teasing it, and I say, okay, Nakamura could be someone who. We're in April, so Nakamura, Cody, I would kind of tease, or put him. I don't know if I put him in May. I would say maybe June-ish. But I get what you're saying. Do you wait that long? I don't know who you put in between at that point because Roman has ran through everybody, like almost everybody. So I don't know who you got.
Full disclosure, I was here and I paused Raw for a second, but I was playing somebody. I'm not gonna mention her name, but I was playing somebody in WWE 2K. And he was speaking to me. He was like, "Hey, I think Roman's going to have that title till WrestleMania 39 at the least. He's going to wrestle The Rock, and of course he's probably going to beat The Rock. So he's going to have the title a little bit longer than that.
Wow.
Because right now all you do is feed Roman because the push is you're in the ring with Roman Reigns. He's that guy. He's that dude. Absolutely right. But as much as a fan of Roman as I am, and everybody knows I'm a fan of Roman, I don't want to see him on Raw and SmackDown every week. Thankfully. Doesn't look like he's going to be.
And see, I don't even mind him holding the title that long. I mean, because his title run is not boring.
Exactly why I said he's having the greatest world title run. People look at me like I'm crazy. He is having the greatest world title run of anybody because he's had that title for almost 600 days now, and people still want to see him hold the title longer because they're enjoying it and it's not boring. And no other champion you could say held the title even half as long as that. Sure. And you weren't tired of them having the title. Even CM Punk in his 434 days, people were tired of seeing him having the title for like 200 some odd days, which is why he had to turn heel.
No, it did. And I think I honestly think, I know it's not the conversation about CM Punk and his title run, but I think that's what actually gave that title run a little bit more life too. Now, credit to Roman, he never had to change. I mean, he pretty much been heel, anti-hero, however you want to word it. He pretty much has been like a heel throughout this whole run, and people eat it up. When we were at Mania, it wasn't just us doing this. It wasn't just us. It was that whole stadium joining in with the throwing up the ones. I mean, he's having such a great run. And I was trying to think of someone. Do you see? It's a random question, but do you see now that they have called up Gunther on SmackDown? Do you see that eventually being some kind of matchup?
The problem is Gunther is a heel. Roman is the ultimate heel. Do you really want to go with that kind of dynamic? That's the question. Right now, I would put Gunther against Ricochet.
Oh, that would actually be a really good match.
It'll be a good match that lasts about 10 minutes. And then Ricochet is going to go back to the back of the line. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be right back. We're going to take a quick commercial break. Stay with us. You're watching the Unpopular Review.
My whole life, I prepared my son to lead humanity in the fight against the machines. John.
Hi, Mom.
How can you be here? What are you doing?
John!
What have they done to my son?
Not machine. Not man. I'm more. Whatever they did to John, we need to reverse it.
Are you running?
Yeah, I am. I'm running for office.
I suggest that you're an unlikely candidate.
I think at this point we've kind of jumped the shark on the whole likely candidate thing.
Puppy, it's a gun!
Dorothy Goodwin, being hailed as a hero.
Oh my.
He is a true hero. She saved me.
You're a gun hero now.
Welcome back to Unpopular Review. Raw Edition is that consultant filling in for Big Daddy Cool. Tonight is Monday Night Raw from Tuesday night on NXT. Watch him and Captain Shakespeare immediately after NXT for their episode of Unpopular Review. But we're here talking about Monday Night Raw. We just got finished talking about Cody Rhodes pretty much and his impact that he's had, no pun intended, since joining the Raw roster. And I mean, do you think he's happy? I would like to find out more information about why he left AEW. I did see an interview where he was like a little bit vague with it. He said there's something he and Tony Khan did not agree that was personal, and he chooses not to talk about it. If he wants to, it's fine. But he had nothing really negative to say about anybody over in AEW.
So the question is, like, what do I think about this? Okay. I'm sorry, I just heard one random. I would like to know more too myself about what's going on and why because I mean he was a big part in why AEW exists. So you know it's that curiosity where it's like you helped create this. He was one of the founding fathers, and he said, "Yeah, this ain't for me." And I mean, some of the things he did say, I remember him saying something about not going for the, and I can respect this in a way because it's like, so when you're EVP, you're the boss, one of the bosses and stuff like that, and not booking yourself as being champion, because we all know when someone get booked and you know that their background is like a boss and they're a champion. Oh, look at this guy abusing his power.
Mm-hmm.
And seeing him like, nah, I don't want to do all that. But he's like, I wanted to do more. I mean, I'm pretty sure he loved his run as TNT champion. I'm pretty sure he did. But he wanted more. And I don't know what was running in Cody's mind and what made him totally, what was the disagreement between him and Tony. Maybe Tony saw he was a bot and, you know, Cody kept trying to prove that I'm not a bot. I don't know. But I mean, I'm happy that I like Cody Rhodes. I liked him in AEW. I really thought he was good in AEW. Now I can understand certain things why fans felt the way, but I thought in ring wise, he delivered very well, and he's grown very well to do promos really, really good. Really, really good. I mean, he's telling a story. The story that he told last week about him and his dad, something he said, and he was saying these things about his dad trying to get the belt back and bringing it back to the Rhodes family, and I just thought that was really good story. It kind of got me choked up. I mean, you know, talking about
that was the intention,
and he got it. And
ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Unpopular Review. That consultant Monday Night Raw. Ron, please make sure you like, love, and share. If you have not hit that like button, shame on you. Let's catch up with some of these comments. If you leave a comment, I always read it on air. Elvis Martinez says Theory is a future Grand Slam champion. Yes, if you were paying attention on Raw tonight. They dropped the name Austin. He's now only going by Theory, right?
I didn't even notice that. Really?
Vince realized that Austin sounds like Stone Cold Steve Austin. You can't have that. Drop Austin. So his name is now going to be Theory, because remember, they usually drop the last names. Yeah,
that's true. No, that's true.
Where was Ray?
No, the first. No, that's usually the first. I'm sorry. I just
Biggie Langston. But you're right.
Yeah, but Antonio
Cesaro.
I'm trying to think. There's a bunch of
Angel
them.
Garza.
No, he's Garza.
He's just Angel.
Oh, he's just Angel. Oh, okay.
Just Angel.
So I guess it depends. It depends on the name then. Okay. Because I'm saying he has dropped first names too.
He has dropped first name because you said Antonio Cesaro.
What else we got? Where's Ray? Who knows?
I don't know. I didn't hear anything on that. George Lewis says, I kind of like Cody Rhodes' interest. The American Nightmare has returned. I like it too. Congrats to Alexa Bliss, got married. Also, Mela and Corey as well. Yes, last week was a wrestling week, wrestling marriage week, and it's going to continue next week apparently because we'll talk about it. But there's a double wedding coming up next week. I can see Cody Rhodes being a champion before he retires. I can see that as well. Remember, Cody Rhodes is still pretty young. He's still pretty young.
He's in his 30s.
Correct, mid-30s. This Thursday is going to be a UPR Family Feud. My team name is Wrestling Divas. We'll talk about that a little later. Monday Night Raw, it's amazing. Keep up the great work, pal. It was a good match between Cody Rhodes and The Miz. Yes, it was. Welcome to the A Show. Definitely, this is indeed the A Show, the executive consultant, as well as Big Daddy Cool, but he was unfortunately able to stop in today. We're blessed to have NXT's Bad Guy Jack. I can see Roman Reigns losing the WWE Championship and keeping the Universal Championship. I don't see him losing the WWE Championship anytime soon unless he gives it up because he is still unpinned and unsubmitted, and the person they have to beat him is going to be huge, and it's not going to be just for the WWE title. The smart money is for the Universal title because that's the one he really cares about. Let's just be real. Hello, Mr. Mike Riggs. Do you think that Cody can beat Roman without the Usos and Paul Heyman? No, I don't. As much as Cody is high right now, as much as we like to see him back, he is still not the one to beat Roman Reigns. I'm sorry. The Sonic the Hedgehog 2 movie finally got supersonic. Thank you, George. We'll talk about that Thursday during our Sonic review.
I didn't even know that. Oh my God!
Well, spoiler alert. I mean, it was only 3 days ago. Like, thank you so much. I'm glad I saw the movie.
Yeah, me too.
Beep, beep, bop, boop. When we get together to Radio Star Karaoke, I am most likely scheduled to be in New York at the beginning of June this year, right? When that happens, we can go to karaoke. Okay. Oh, you got to talk about Sonya Deville. She's getting a Raw Women's Championship match against Miller, and we are. Veer made all the virgins proud. Virgins. Since bad guys here.
No. Move. Keep going down. No. Not here. No, I don't care what day it is. Don't say that, H-Man. Don't do that. No, he did that on purpose. He purposely did that.
Hell no, Cody ain't beating Roman. Now it's from one Willie.
I'm really disappointed in you, H-Man. I entertain you on Tuesdays and you do that. How dare you, sir? How dare y'all? What were we talking about? Cody and Miz. Yeah, it was a pretty good match. I mean that's the match we're talking about, right?
Yeah, but we're kind of over it.
Okay, what was the next match? I'm sorry, I wanted to be sure.
Next match we're going to talk about is Liv Morgan versus Naomi. Apparently, from what we understand, Rhea Ripley got put on COVID protocol, so she was not able to join tonight on Raw. It's supposed to be a match between Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley versus Naomi and Sasha Banks, but this time it was Liv Morgan, Naomi. Naomi picks up the victory. It was a lot different than Liv Morgan pick up the victory over Sasha Banks on Friday, but that was because Sasha Banks, they wanted to have momentum for Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley going into Raw, and this time they just said Naomi's going to win. Your thoughts on that?
I don't like 50-50 booking. I'm just not a fan of it. I get the idea that these challengers have to look like they're a threat for the championship, but I feel like because I've watched wrestling for so long, it's like we all see the heel turn coming from Rhea. Mm-hmm. So that's why when I was watching, and I was like, "Where's Rhea? What's going on? Why is this a single match?" I thought they said something about a match for next week. So now hearing all this stuff, I'm like, "Oh, never mind." I just don't like 50-50 booking. I'm just not a fan of it. Like, these are your champs. These champs should be like dominating to even a more dominating to this point of like, I just think they should dominate. I'm sorry, I can't find all the words and all the words in the vocabulary, but they should just dominate this team. And they're going to be like,
I feel like outside of the Universal Champion, they every time somebody wins a title, that means they're going to lose almost every one of their non-title matches.
Yeah.
No, thank you. And that's a problem. But Liv Morgan did lose to Naomi this time. It actually looked almost pretty easy, to be honest with you. I don't know. Naomi does not respect Liv Morgan. I don't want to speculate, but yeah.
I think it's just to add more to the story. I don't think it's that. I think it's to add more to the story that Liv is the weak link. Because if you notice, every time when, or at least I'll say last week and this week, obviously this week because it was just Liv, but Liv was the one who was eating the pin. And Liv and Rhea's are probably watching at home, sitting there saying, "Why am I tagging with this loser?" So she's probably just sitting there, "What is wrong with you?" She's probably sitting there going like, "What is going on? Why am I with this person?" So I think it's just to add more. And then when the heel turn happened next week, which I honestly believe it would happen this week, but next week when it does happen, it's like, you keep losing. Why do you lose? And she's gonna choke her, pick her up, and maybe just throw her in the sun or something like that. I don't know.
Throw her into the sun, though, sounds kind of rude and brutal, but whatever.
I know, sound like a Kryptonian. I know, you're right.
Next we had not bad. The next we had the almighty Bobby Lashley come out. It was supposed to be the VIP lounge with MVP with Omos, but Bobby Lashley come out and pretty much said, I'm taking over this thing if you come out and tell me why. MVP comes out with a newly groomed, newly dressed, newly outfitted Omos and pretty much said, hey, he wants me, you don't. Like, you don't appreciate me. You know, I took you from obscurity. You were over here, you know, doing TikTok videos with somebody instead of going after the WWE title. You know, you weren't even sniffing it. And then I did this, and now you act like you don't need me. Yeah, well, I got somebody new. I got somebody younger.
Was he really doing TikTok videos?
He wasn't doing TikTok videos, but you know, that's what Lana is really known.
Yeah, okay. I thought that's what it was, because I just cannot see Bobby Lashley doing any TikTok videos. All I image him is and then like that. But you know what? Good for MVP. Good for him. This man stuck up because he's not lying. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, the man's not lying. Look, when he started teaming up with Bobby, he was the one who told him. In that pandemic era, when they were backstage, he was like, "Yo, what are you doing? Like, you're with this female. This female is not giving you. You should be going for championship. You should be killing dudes." MVP was the guy who did that. He was like, "Yo, you should be like destroying these guys in there because that's what you do. You're a killer." He's the one who gave him the almighty name. This guy was walking around calling himself Bobby Lashley. That's not intimidating. The almighty? Oh my God. I'm sitting there crossing the street right about now. I see Charmaine. She's very rude. She says MVP sucked. No. That comment sucked. Let me tell you something. This guy saved Bobby Lashley. And when we were at WrestleMania, not that any of us asked, but MVP wasn't there. And that was a shocker. And MVP should have been there because it wasn't Bobby Lashley on his own that got him there. And look, I know Bobby Lashley, if he saw this, he could rip me in half if he saw this. So don't no one show him this. But I sit here and say MVP brought him to the table. The reason why Bobby Lashley, Cedric Alexander, Shelton Benjamin. I got it. Give me a minute. I need a minute. I got this.
I screwed up anyway. I said the wrong thing.
We both messed up. But they all dressed very well and clean because of MVP. And that man deserved his flowers because that man is fun. That man is great. So he realized he wasn't appreciated, went to this giant tree of a man called Omos. And Omos now, I don't even know where he shopped because that man is just too fucking big. So I'm sitting there thinking, like, where did he even go to be getting clothing like that? So right. Good for MVP. I want to give him his flowers. Stop yawning. This man, good for you, MVP, for standing up for yourself with your clean shoes and suits.
Next, we're going to talk about is, it will behoove me to say that, you know, there was a segment with Tommaso Ciampa and officially he's announced as a member of Monday Night Raw. It was kind of
I felt so disrespectful.
Why?
Because it was like he's there. Then we have Ezekiel Jackson here who comes out of nowhere.
No, it's not Ezekiel Jackson.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's Ezekiel, Elias's younger brother.
Don't do that.
And remember, Elias.
Don't do that.
Remember, Elias had a last name too. Technically, this is Ezekiel Samson.
Samson, that's what it was. Samson. Because I knew it was like a Bible name. Good job. But yeah, he comes out. He's in this saying, "Welcome to Raw" and all this stuff. And can I just say, Kevin Owens is gold. Like, he is really, really gold. The way he was, like, the way he would just like, no. That's Elias. And everyone's like, "No, that's Ezekiel." And he said, "No, not you too." I just really thought Kevin Owens was so great at it. But I felt it was disrespectful to Tommaso because he's there. I don't even think he got a chance to speak. It's almost like, "Yeah, welcome to Raw," and then there was just like
saying that was Ezekiel.
Yeah, I'm just glad. I mean, look, he's on the main roster. Hopefully they know what to do with him because I think you can do stuff with him. He don't have to be a world champion, but I think you got to beef up that mid-card division. So I think him being there could actually help out a lot.
I sincerely hope so. Let's catch up on some of these comments. That was horrible for Sonya at the beginning of that match. We'll talk about that in a second. Randy will beat Roman. Riddle turns on Randy. I think so too, Elvis. Rhea's heel turn incoming soon. I definitely believe that. I am glad that Liv lost. I am too. I don't think they're as high on Liv as they once were. Why isn't Liv chasing the 24/7 championship? Good question, Elvis Martinez. Rhea Ripley is going to turn heel, but be on the lookout for Shayna Baszler and Taya because he may be next in line for the Women's Tag Team Championship. They could be next in line, but they're not winning. Sonya Deville is suck. I hope she lose. Okay. Tommaso Ciampa's on Raw, and a feud between Rhea and Liv could happen. MVP suck. The almighty Bobby Lashley. MVP is a legend. Omos is a joke. I'm sorry. Omos needs to be released. Not happening. They are high on Omos. George, why do you want everybody to get released? I agree him on too.
Yeah.
This was a poetic segment because Ciampa was heart of NXT and poor Ezekiel didn't get a chance to learn there, unlike his brother. Him welcoming Ciampa is great. You're right. Ezekiel did not go through NXT. How did he just show up on Raw? I don't know. Himanshu Gore, Omos will never be a champion. I'm not sure that's true.
I mean, I think they. Well, that's not true because Omos actually won the tag championship. So, what do you mean? Like he's actually technically was a champion. But I digress. What we got next, EC?
Next thing we're going to talk about Monday Night Raw is Bianca Belair being challenged by Queen Zelina in pretty much a squash match. Bianca just made short work of Queen Zelina.
I mean, I'm sorry. What do you want me to say? it really was just a squash. It was really just to make Bianca look strong, which, right, you should do that. And, you know, Zelina was the person to eat the pin. I mean, they did talk about that, her split from Carmella, but, I mean, Bianca had no business losing.
Yeah, Bianca had no business losing. The person I was watching Raw with, one of the people I was watching Raw with, was saying that they're really pushing Bianca hard. And I keep saying that, in my opinion, they're trying to push her as the female version of John Cena. And I think she can fit that role. But then now out comes the official, WWC official Sonya Deville, who says, I have an open contract for your next challenger. Just sign here, which Bianca did. And then they revealed the next challenger, which looks like it's going to be, or is going to be, when Sonya Deville.
How do you feel about that?
I'm fine. She's a heel that gets heat. If you're a heel that gets heat, you deserve some recognition. And she knows how to draw heat. She's going to be a contender for Bianca Belair. I can see why they did that, and I'm proud that they're going to do that. This is a direction that I'm perfectly fine with. You saw the direction they did with her and Naomi, and she did that. She played that very well. You know, people hated that storyline for such a while.
Yeah, and I think it was because it was just it dragged a little too long. I mean, I have no problem with it because it's just like, who do you put there? Like, Becky should. I mean, I don't know what's going on with Becky. Maybe she's just taking some time. I mean, I know she's a mama, so like probably taking some time off to be a mother at the moment. So you go like, who's gonna come out? And for a period, I was like, oh, does Asuka come out? And then there was a certain. Ooh, she's healed, right? She's good to go.
She is good to go, as far as I know. She's been good to go for a couple of weeks now.
Maybe they save her for SmackDown rather than Raw. Okay.
I don't see her going to SmackDown. I see her going to Raw. Raw needs her more.
Okay. All right. Well,
I think Asuka goes to SmackDown.
That wouldn't be bad. I mean, because I still would love to see an Asuka against Ronda Rousey.
And she needs to change the scenery anyway for Asuka. She's been gone almost a year now. It'll be a year in like 2 or 3 months. So she will get a much welcome return when she returns. And I'm glad that she's been gone that long because she really needed a break. Asuka, in my opinion, is the most successful non-4 horsewoman since they've had the evolution. And second, quite closely, in my opinion, if I don't count Bianca Belair now, by Alexa Bliss. So, I definitely think.
And credit to you. I remember when I first started around here, I remember you saying, like, especially that pandemic era, you gave it to, you said Bayley, Sasha, and Asuka. And Asuka was holding that division down for a long period in that division for that year, a long time. So, and also, too, when you go away for a long period of time, it makes you, when you hear that music, I kid you not, when everyone hears that music, it's going to get a big pop. It's going to get a big reaction.
Right. It's called the comeback pop, I think is what I remember it being called.
Sure.
Where you're almost guaranteed to get a reaction. If you don't get a reaction, then you need to get released because most people are gone for a while. When they return, they get a huge pop.
But people like Asuka. Like that's the thing. People
really
like
Asuka, but she was getting kind of stale, and she was injured. And I really feel like that break was good for her. But
for sure.
You know, when people come back, you know, and which is why I'm afraid of somebody like Ali. Because if he just showed up randomly on SmackDown, is he going to get a pop? I'm not sure.
I want to say yes and no, and I say yes because of everyone knowing the backstage stuff where, you know, like they know the stuff like he wants to be let go and everything, and then when you see him, it's like, oh look, he's back and he's here. But I don't know if he has that same, like someone like Asuka. We said Asuka and Bayley; those are like staple names in the WWE. So like when you see those names, you're like, oh, you know, you're excited to see them back. But I don't know. I just really.
I tell you, who had a big pop when they came back was actually Alexa Bliss. She had a big pop when she was announced for the Elimination Chamber. She had a big pop at the Elimination Chamber, and then she just went away. It was kind of weird. But when she comes back, she's coming to Raw. So I don't know. It's but a feud between her and Bianca Belair, even though you would think that it wouldn't be good because Bianca is just so powerful, I think that would be really lit.
No, I think it would be different. I don't think they've ever even had a match. So I mean, it would be a fresh matchup.
They have not. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a small commercial break. When we come back, stay with us. We're watching the Popular Review.
Yes.
I get paid to talk.
What do you talk about?
I speak on behalf of cigarettes.
My mommy says cigarettes kill.
Now, is your mommy a doctor?
No.
Well, she doesn't exactly sound like a credible expert now, does she? I front an organization that kills 1,200 people a day.
Dad, I want to see what you do.
The message Hollywood needs to send out is smoking is cool. You can put the sex back into cigarettes.
Get a flight to L.A., I'll get you a meeting with Hollywood super agent Jeff McGowan.
Michael Jordan plays ball. Charles Manson kills people. I talk.
Thank you for smoking.
That's I love
Stand still and die!
For a guy named Knuckles, you are really bad at punching.
What's happening?
Okay, quick version. Robotnik is back.
I discovered the source of ultimate power.
We need to get it back before the world is doomed.
You're unskilled, untrained, unworthy.
You forgot one. Unstoppable.
Hey! Sorry.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Unpopular Review Raw Edition. I'm the executive consultant over there. It's Monday Night Raw, filling in for Big Daddy Cool, and we're over here talking about, of course, Monday Night Raw. What you just saw was 2 episodes of UPRE that's showing up on Thursday, one at 9 o'clock and one at 9:30. That being Sonic 2, as well as Thank You for Smoking as part of our political satire. But we're talking about Monday Night Raw. If you're liking what you're watching, please make sure you like, love, and share to all your wrestling timelines and groups. As you know, we are on Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, as well as YouTube, and we also just joined on another channel, which is Nico Extra, as we're doing now on his Twitter, Twitch, and his YouTube. So looking forward to that. But anyway, meantime, let's go ahead and continue our talk about Monday Night Raw, and we're going to go to RK Bro versus the Alpha Academy for the 19th time this year, which pretty much, hey, let's just get it right. RK Bro won, right? Because it was a filler match. That's what it was. You're laughing because, you know, you've seen RK Bro versus Alpha Academy at least 12 of those 19 times. I mean, your thoughts. I'm not saying they never had a bad match. They haven't, but it's only April.
No, I'm laughing because at first when you said Academy, I heard Academy Cock. No, I said Academy Cock. But, like, I mean, I kind of zoned out about it. Because I zoned out just because this match has happened so many times, as you mentioned. Not bad. I think they've had better encounters, but it was what it was, man. It really was. Like, good that they won. Good that they won. I wasn't surprised that they won, especially with the thing happening after, if you want to lead into that.
It's after that, we saw on the Titantron somebody coming in an SUV. It was the Usos looking happy to be there. Came out and challenged the RK Bro. Said, hey, we want to unify those tag team titles. We have the blue ones. We have the SmackDown ones. We want the red Raw ones as well. Street Profits came out and said, hey, we don't agree with that. We want our 19th match against RK Bro this year. And Randy Orton said, it's been a lot. So Randy Orton was like, hey, I'm sick of seeing y'all talk. Let's have a match. And the winner pretty much faces us for the Raw Tag Team Championship. We'll talk about it in a second. Let's go ahead and catch up with some of these comments. This was a poetic segment because Ciampa was heart of NXT and poor Ezekiel didn't get a chance to learn there, unlike his brother. I think I already read that one. Himashi Goro Omos will never be champion because I read that one. Apollo, Commander Aziz, Cedric, Gulak, Shelton, Shotzi, and Leah might be released by the end of the month. Unfortunately, I agree with Elvis. I see Apollo, I definitely see Commander Aziz. I've been saying that for weeks. Cedric, Gulak, I think is going to stay for a little while. Shelton Benjamin, Shotzi definitely, and Aaliyah most definitely is getting released by the and sometime the next month. Definitely Aaliyah and Commander Aziz. If anybody else, because Aaliyah is just not good. This is where Sonya Deville will be fired as WWE official. That's why she signed a contract for the Raw Women's Championship. That's possible. I love Sonya as her first opponent. Works better for Bianca as a face. A perfect cool-off feud after Becky. I can agree with that too. I picked up Slim Jims at the store last week with Macho Man on the package. Who should WWE have take over the Slim Jim commercials? Who should I not read comments from because they ask the dumbest questions I ever heard in my entire life? Nobody fucking cares about Macho Man and some damn Slim Jim commercials. Get a life, you idiot. Raw needs Bayley and SmackDown needs Asuka. That's what I just said. Himachi Kaora says everybody can go away. I want Io Shirai to debut and RIP everybody. Io Shirai will be coming soon. Io Shirai will be on the Monday Night Raw brand. When do we see Io Shirai on the main roster? Next month. Asuka is one of the few who is language barrier but still has more charisma, personality, and presence than most of the roster. What's up, Tim Drake? When Becky Lynch comes back, she's going to get her rematch for the Raw Women's Championship and take the title off of Bianca Belair, and we'll get her and Ronda Rousey title versus title. I believe that 100%. Asuka legit is one of the craziest wrestlers I've seen. She once booked herself versus Minoru Suzuki and told Suzuki to stiff shot her during the match just to give him heel heat. Tough to watch. See you Friday, Jack.
See you Friday, dude.
The Street Profits versus RK Bro for the Raw Tag Team Championship. You skipped the 24/7 championship talk and 2 weddings next week. I did mention 2 weddings next week. Pay attention. I didn't talk about the segment because there wasn't to talk about. At the end of the day, we have a double wedding. First time, I think, in WWE history. A double wedding next week on Monday Night Raw. And guess what? Still no one cares. I don't care about Dana Brooke. I don't care about Reggie. I don't care about I do like what's
Tommaso? I mean, not Tommaso. Tower.
Akira Tozawa. I am a fan of Akira Tozawa. I'm just glad to see him have screen time because I was afraid he was just not going to have screen time and get released. So I do like Akira Tozawa. I think he's a tremendous athlete. And Tamina grows on me.
I think Tamina is awful. It's just this segment don't do anything for me, man. It's just it's one of those segments that when I watch it, I just go, oh, I can go outside for a minute. It just don't do anything for me. So, I mean, that's something that's going to happen. I know next week you and Big Daddy Cool are going to be ripping it apart. So I can't wait to see what you guys do, how you guys view this match. But let's talk about it. It was the main event. We had the Usos against the Street Profit. I'm so sorry. The Street Profit. I had to make sure my pronunciation came out correct there.
Good match as you expect the Usos and the Street Profit to have. It was a very good match. But in the end, you already know what's going down. Usos winning because Usos is going to challenge RK Bro for those tag team titles, and they're going to win. That's it. That is the long and short of it. At the end of the day, the Bloodline are going to hold all the gold, all the silver, or bronze, or platinum, whatever you want to call it, but they're going to win those Raw tag team titles. They're going to combine those Raw tag team titles with the SmackDown titles. Why? Because we're the ones, baby. We're the ones. Shut up. My roommate's such a hater. He's so proud because he watched the end of WrestleMania. He threw a hat at Roman Reigns and it made TV. So now the hat's more over than he is.
I gotta look that back now. I didn't even.
You see at the end, he's about to stand on the ramp. You see a hat, and he looks at it briefly, and then he doesn't give a fuck, right? But the hat is more over than my roommate.
This is the last Raw I'm going to be on here, ladies and gentlemen. But that's a lie. I'll be back. Yeah, I mean, this was a really good match. I mean, they don't really. The Street Profit is really, really good. I mean, it's nothing. What can I say? They're really, really good. I do want to say there was this really just to talk back.
He's won the belts and beat CM Punk. Vince McMahon did that on purpose. Now Roman's about to.
Nobody gives a fuck about CM Punk. They already beat that. No, Brock Lesnar beat that.
Did that on
he did.
Roman beat CM Punk's record just now.
Brock Lesnar beat CM Punk's record.
Brock
Nobody gives a crap about CM Punk. Roman's the needle mover.
No, he's gonna lose now.
To lose to who?
To Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam.
You don't believe that shit.
He's gonna lose to Cody Rhodes. He doesn't need the belt against Brock.
He's not losing no Cody Rhodes.
He doesn't need the belt against Brock.
He ain't losing no fucking Cody Rhodes. Let's be real. Cody Rhodes. I know everybody's all high on this overly pyro guy, but no. He's the first superstar from AEW to cross over to WWE. Superstar, right? And I love how Miz was giving him jabs during Miz TV because he said, I'm going after the undisputed WWE Championship belt, WWE Universal Championship belt. He says, it's not a belt, it's a championship. Belts are used to hold up your pants. And then Cody Rhodes said he was going to beat all the wrestlers in WWE, and Miz told him they're superstars, right? So that wasn't planned. That was all Miz saying, hey, this is what we do in WWE, buddy. He was giving him the work for his AEW work. Because this is like you're leaving this is the closest thing if you left the competition to come here. We're going to make sure you understand where you at.
Well said, EC. Thanks for that breakdown. And I don't know. I mean, I thought Raw was pretty okay. It was all right. What was I going to say? The main event was cool. The Usos get the win, and you said you pretty much see the Usos winning. So you see the Usos
100%.
Usos get all the gold. That's a hell of a. How long do you think this unification stuff goes? I feel like almost like it doesn't. I see H-Man. He says Miz was eating Cody up, and we got thumb side from Charmaine. But how long do you think this unification stuff goes? I don't think it's something that lasts throughout the whole year. But how long do you think it lasts? Well, no, it's a rough question, but I'd like to ask. I like to ask the hard question.
I see it for the foreseeable future. I don't see it anytime soon. I see with the tag teams combined, and I really feel like Ronda's going to win that SmackDown title so she can fight Becky Lynch in next year's WrestleMania in their unification match. I really do. I hate that because I don't need to see the same people on Raw and SmackDown each week. I know Roman's probably not going to be on Raw each week.
No,
but I just don't like the idea of having. I don't. I like Raw and SmackDown being two separate shows. They need to feel separate. They need to be separate. Having anybody show up on both. I never even like the fact that WWE Women's Tag Team Championship is on both. Now, granted, they've done a decent job because they usually just keep them on whatever brand they're on for a while. But I will always be a fan. I will always be more for the brand split than to not have a brand split. It's just me. I'm a brand split guy. I'm a brand split guy.
He's my guy right here is a brand split guy. I said brand split guy. I dig the brand split. It's just I would love if that they would tighten it up a little bit. Like I would love if they had with the brand split. My biggest thing is like tag teams. They don't have enough tag teams to keep a brand split going. And I think also the mid card, I would love for it to be beefing up a little bit. One of the conversations I had with somebody, I was sitting there saying, I thought it was a shame that the Intercontinental Champion, they could not find room for the Intercontinental Champion and the United States Champion. And I think both Ricochet as the Intercontinental Champion and Finn as the United States Champion, I think right there, I'm like, these are two good champs. We should be building this division with these guys. I think these are guys.
Well, definitely was surprised about Finn Balor. Ricochet not making it, that didn't surprise me. But Finn Balor not making it is a big shock to me because he has one of the greatest entrances, and you just at least want that on. He
is. When you guys were doing entrances, I didn't know if I'd be on the show. I was like, man, what would I rate? Because I think that's easy a top 5 for me, and I had to figure out. So he has a great entrance, but he also has. He's not just an entrance. He can. I think when he talks, he's fine. In the ring, he's solid. He's crisp. There's a lot of stuff with Finn, but I mean, they've been treating him like dog shit. I mean, even I saw that next week is supposed to be him against Austin Theory. I just at this point, I'm just saying Austin Theory should just beat him.
He should beat him, but he's not going to.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they're going to do that. Even though Theory seemed to have Finn Balor's number since ever, but he beats him almost every one-on-one match, almost every.
He beat him last week. He pinned him last week.
He pinned him on WrestleMania Friday also.
Yeah. Huh?
They had a 6-man title match and he pinned him.
See, and at this point, that's what I say. Like, it's just at this point, just take the title off Finn. Just take it off him. Not because I don't like Finn. I think Finn is great, but they just treat him like crap. They treat him. I don't understand the booking of Finn. So I leave it at that. But you want to get some of these comments before we, unless you have any other stuff you want.
Where has Xia Li been? They're not sure what to do with Xia Li, and I'm a little worried about her.
Shame.
Apparently, new belt's gonna be all gold like the Connor's Cure belt. Is that true? I saw the rumblings of it. I hope that is true, but I doubt it. The 24/7 segment is the best part of the show, in my opinion. Feels more like a soap opera. I'm excited for NXT tomorrow night. You're one person of only. I've tried the 24/7. I'm tired of the 24/7 belt. Need to drop the belt. I agree. I know the 24/7 segment hasn't really been popping, but I enjoy the long-term storytelling. I don't know why you're trying to put it over. It's not working. I still think the Street Profits will take the Raw Tag Team Championship against the Usos at some point.
They got the SmackDown titles. You mean, okay, bro.
Who cares? CM Punk. I agree. Miz was eating Cody up. Yes, he was. Thumb side. The female wrestlers were fully shaved and waxed tonight. That's for sure. That could only come from Nasty Canada. Himanshu Gore says, by the way, do y'all think Dominic will be sent straight to NXT hospitals? No. I don't think it'll be a last long. That's why I think the Street Profits can win. Ron, did you play the game Cuphead? Why are you asking him that question? This is unpopular review, Raw edition. You're asking some stupid question about Cuphead. I don't even know what the fuck that is. You could have messaged.
Can I answer that? Am I allowed to answer that? You asked me to be on. I did, and it's a really hard-ass game to play. But I do recommend watching the Netflix show. It is fun as hell. Go ahead.
UPRW or UPRG or UPRE?
Who knows? I'm supposed to be on NXT tomorrow, and here I am.
You said something about
it's the multiverse.
You said something about Netflix, so I should put something else. I should put the UPRE logo up, because what are we doing? Where we at? Okay, right.
We're on YouTube.
Anyway, I don't think Bianca will lose title to Becky. Also, Ronda versus Becky doesn't have to be a title match; it'll be huge regardless. But it's going to be for the titles. It's the third time they unified a belt. That's true. This time it's pointless. I agree. Bianca Belair is losing to Becky Lynch. We're going to get Ronda versus Becky winner take all in next year's WrestleMania. I think that's the writing on the wall. Austin Theory is now Theory. This is true. Xia and Shotzi are wrestling dark matches right now, just to give them something to do. Shotzi doesn't need to be wrestling dark matches. She needs to be wrestling in the parking lot after enjoying a good episode of real wrestling. That's all Shotzi Blackheart needs to do.
Got one more comment.
Ron opened the forbidden door. This is just that stupid, Tim Drake. Like, what? There's no forbidden door. We're all the same company. What is with your fans tonight?
They love me, and I love you.
Your fault. You come. You bring all this chaos and nonsense. I can't stand it.
I do what I can.
You look fucking ridiculous just now.
Oh, can I have the chair doing this? Woo! I'm sorry, I've been drinking.
Yes, it's the same thing you say in every show, right? It's the same.
That's what I do.
I'm sorry, I've been drinking.
So is any other thing, bro? Do you look forward to next week's Raw?
I think Raw's been pretty decent so far. They're trying to keep the momentum over WrestleMania, because as you can see, they're successful touting at WrestleMania. We were there. WrestleMania was very successful, so they want to keep up the momentum. Right now, I've heard less chatter about All Elite whackness than I've heard in years since AEW started, because WWE just looks once again like that main brand. And not for nothing, I watched that Seth match back with Cody, and I remember in the match he said, "Hey, welcome back to the big leagues."
Yeah, I didn't, and you know what's funny? I mean, from where we were at, I didn't hear that. So when I looked back and I saw that, I said, "Oh, that's so great!" Like, I like stuff like that. That's hilarious. So good stuff. Good stuff.
I agree. You said what?
They just got Samoa Joe. AEW's popping.
They just got Samoa Joe. That was the latest. So what is he wrestling next week on Rampage? Dark. What is he doing? What? I don't know what you're doing.
Samoa Joe, bro.
That was Samoa Joe. Why are you ruining shit?
How am I ruining it?
Because
you on screen can't even see me. How am I ruining it?
Yeah, they can hear your voice. That's bad enough.
What?
I'm not surprised by the support Ron has. I really don't care. Whoopee about Joe. I agree. Charmaine says, hi, David. She heard your little raspy ass voice. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll take one last commercial break. When we come back, we're going to talk about what we got else going on. We'll ask any more questions. Stay with us. You're watching Popular Review. Hey, I'm noticing. Hit that like button. I haven't seen enough people hit that like button. And that share. Let's know what's going on.
Speaking of things that don't really matter anymore, we have Ronda Rousey being introduced in by Kayla Braxton, the baddest woman on the planet, saying that the match was physical, that she made Charlotte tap out. Technically she did, but it wasn't counted by the ref because the ref was knocked out. And then she's saying that she wants a rematch, and now she wants it to be an I Quit match. And then Charlotte comes up and basically says, no, I'm not going to give you that, so go back in the line, sweetie. Go wait like a good little girl.
You know, not for nothing.
People fight.
Not for nothing. How many of us actually agreed with Charlotte Flair? I mean, Ronda Rousey won the Royal Rumble. She went on to WrestleMania. She challenged for the SmackDown Women's title, and she lost. How does she automatically get a rematch if she lost? Right? She didn't win shit.
Work your way up like the new Raw Women's Champion.
Exactly. So she needs to go in the back of the line and let someone new get a title shot. Who does Ronda Rousey think she is? The baddest one on the planet or something? I disagree.
No.
Welcome back. Unpopular Review. I am the executive consultant. That's Monday Night Raw. Please make sure you hit that like, love, and share button as we are wrapping up and answering any questions that you might have coming up. Bad Guy Jack, what did you feel? I know you do NXT. You'll be doing NXT tomorrow with Captain Shakespeare. What did you feel like was going on here with Monday Night Raw?
You know, we chat a lot sometimes just about life and wrestling and stuff like that. Monday Night Raw is just too long for me. It's always a thing, but there was some good stuff. There was some highlights in there as well. I like that they're treating Cody like a star. The tag team titles. I've said this a lot of times. I look at Montez Ford and I say, "Man, that guy's a star." And I don't view them to break up Street Profit anytime soon. I think we chatted and you was like, "Oh, you know, I could, you know, somewhere this year." So there was some highlights on tonight. There were some things where I'm just like, "Oh, they were just trying to push a story," and that didn't do anything for me. Like the 24/7 stuff. Bear getting the win wasn't surprised. So I didn't hate Raw. I don't want to say I hate Raw, but I go with, man, this is a little too long for me. But there were also definitely some highlights in there. So and you know, next week they have Finn against a Theory, and there's a bunch of other matches where you go like, hey, those should be some really good matches. The women's match next week, women's tag match. I mean, Naomi, Sasha against Rhea and Liv. So they got some good stuff going on for next week. So I'll be in the chat next week. Or maybe I'll be here too, because you guys seemed really thrilled that I was here and my NXT crew was here. So I wish I didn't do that to you guys, because I see you guys.
You won't be here next week. You'll be in the chat next week. But ladies and gentlemen, that is it for us here at Raw. To answer this question, Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey, I do, depending on how long Ronda Rousey's contract is for. I can see her say, hey, I want a team with my friend. Let's go after those tag team titles. I can see that. My team will beat Jeff. We'll talk about that in a second. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching us here on the Monday Night Raw edition of Unpopular Review. Please make sure you join us each and every single Monday, immediately after Raw, for an episode of Monday Night Raw review and results show with myself as well as Big Daddy Cool on Monday, 6 o'clock. Immediately after, every 6 o'clock for the intelligent wrestling fan around the blocks with DJ Nice. It is Mike Knox and DJ as they talked about all the world of wrestling on Tuesday. Immediately after NXT, join this guy, Monday Night Raw, known as Bad Guy Jack, as well as Captain Shakespeare, as they talk about NXT 2.0 on Wednesday. Join Divine Intervention and All Elite Joker as they talk about AEW Dynamite. And on Friday, Barbara, the wrestling doll, along with her special guest, and I think this week is going to be me again, the executive consultant, as we talked about SmackDown on UPR East Side tomorrow at 8:30. Join us as we review the movie The Hater as part of our political satire month. And we're going to go into Terminator Genesis immediately after. It's a double feature tomorrow on Unpopular Review. On Wednesday, join the Trio of Destiny, which is the stupidest name I've ever heard in my life, But see the Superior, Bad Guy Jack, and the Mark Victor Rodriguez as they bring you another episode of Moon Knight. I believe they're on episode 3, and that is at what time, Bad Guy Jack?
It's around 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock. Speaking of See the Superior and Bad Guy Jack, next week we're going to have another UPR battles. This time it's with Zelda versus somebody I cannot pronounce.
No. Stop right there. Stop right there. No, that's not Zelda. That's
Link.
Thank you.
That's Link.
And
but
Link
from Legend of Zelda versus somebody I can't pronounce, but that's whatever. Anime bullshit. But this is only on Instagram Live, so make sure that you're following Unpopular Review as well as See the Superior, so you can watch that next week. If you're a fan of our UPR gaming, please make sure you join us this Thursday, 8:30 p.m., where we are presenting you Family Feud, which we have Team. What's his name? Team Jeff. I can't remember. What's his moniker? Does he have a moniker? Storm.
Team
Storm.
Oh my God.
Versus I don't know who he's facing yet, but we're going to talk about it. Make sure you follow us on all our social media. And of course, we also had the WWE 2K22 League about to start any week now. So make sure that you're hitting people up. Technician, Bad Guy Jack, Storm, so we can get that set it up and started on Thursday. Also, as part of our political satire at 9 o'clock, we are watching. We're reviewing Thank You for Smoking, and this is an interesting movie. I've never even heard this movie, and I've never seen this movie, but I'll be watching it on Thursday. And then, of course, immediately after, the very red hot $142 million over the weekend, Sonic 2 will be reviewed immediately after, part of another doubleheader by myself and the UPRE crew. Once again, as I always say, a lot of content here on Popular Review, because I'm sure somebody did not send me the graphic of something, and I don't know about a show. But we have it here at Unpopular Review, at our Instagram, at our YouTube, at Unpopular Review Gaming, UPRE, and Unpopular Review. So make sure that you are subscribing to all of that and watching us, because no matter what you like, I guarantee we have something that you like. Thank you so much for watching us here.
Whoa. Before you go, he plugged all the things, but please follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and also TikTok, because our TikTok is booming at the moment. So please follow us on all social media platforms. I just wanted to throw that out there because you did a great job, but you forgot the TikTok.
I did forget the TikTok. We have a lot of things that we have to follow, a lot of subscriptions that you have to do, but we have a lot of material for you here at Unpopular Review. For Monday Night Ron, I am the Tech Consultant. Thank you so much for watching us, and we will see you right here next time for Unpopular Review. Good night, everybody.
Let's go.